Hi, it's Kathy from Books at Bishopstone, where I just chat about some of the books that I've been reading and really look forward to any comments that people might have in relation to either the books that I've read or authors by the same people that I've read. And and sometimes I will be talking about some books that have come across my bookshelf that I might have bought or lent. I'd like to say that I would have lent more books and then given them back than actually buy books. And I am as well trying very hard as well to buy much more secondhand, cheaper books. I'm trying as well to get through some older books, as in I do read some modern books, but then I do want to go back and revisit kind of some early books in the genres that I kind of like, especially like Golden Age crime and Gothic. And I just think it's really interesting to go back and read some of the earlier books. I guess the ones that have given foundation to where some of the modern authors are today. I just like those topics. So anyone who is interested in those areas, as well as a smattering of modern books, I hope you enjoy my little chat here. Well, after having said all that, I think I'll just jump in with the first book that I have finished just recently. Is one that I have borrowed, and it is No Bail for the Judge by Henry Cecil. So this is the book. So I knew absolutely nothing about this author at all. I hadn't seen any of his work, hadn't even really heard of him. I got this one because as I was saying earlier, I really like the Golden Age of crime kind of era. This is kind of similar. It's a little bit different to what I would probably normally read, but it is a murder mystery, and it is written in, if I can see here, just bear with me for a minute while I try and work out when it was actually, I've got to take my glasses off to see, 1956. This one was from, so yeah, it's a little while ago. It's kind of getting towards the end of the golden age of crime, really. But anyway, so this author, his real name is Henry Cecil Leon, and he writes both under, I've got little notes here, this is why I'm keep looking at the back. He writes under the name of both Henry Cecil and Clifford Maxwell, I think it is, that he writes under. So so this was just jumping into the unknown, really. So what can I say about this book? Well, I've already said that it was 1956. I think that's the second printing. There are, how many pages are we? 134 pages long. So it's not a huge book. It's kind of a very easy reading book. I actually really enjoyed this. I kind of surprised myself in a little bit because at first I thought might not be quite up my wheelhouse, but it was really good. It's the premise of the story is there's a judge here. Now, Henry Cecil himself is actually a judge. Was a judge. I should probably say I don't think he's alive anymore. So he was a judge. And so the books that he writes are set around the legal system and trials and juries and things like that. So he is well versed in what he's writing about, but he writes it with such wit and humour. It just made it really interesting. That's the kind of bit, I suppose, which was quite good. And what makes it, there's so much wit in that, and I just love the way that, especially in the court case, the trial in this book, you really get to see to know the characters really well, because the questioning and the answers that some of them give are just laugh out loud. So I thought it was really great. That was a great portrayal of people's characters through what they say or don't kind of say, if you know what I mean. So the premise of this book is you have this judge who's an older judge, lives with his grown-up daughter, or she lives with him, whichever way around. And he's a stickler for the rules, and he's a stickler for being at work every day and doing the right thing. Anyway, due to a medical episode, he ends up having a little turn in the street, ends up at the flat of a young lady, let's put it that way. And subsequently he becomes charged with murder. Now, he can't remember anything that happens, so he doesn't know if he murdered someone or not. And so there is a trial, and that's the premise of the story. I'm not going to say any more, otherwise it does give it away. So, but I just thought it was great. I really, really enjoyed this. I mean, like, I've read some comments about him. People have said he's a great comic genius. He has unpredictable plot twists. I mean, this is the only book I've read, but if his other books are like this, they would be a delight to read, because he's got both the really quick and easy to read in terms of not a hard read at all. So that's always nice. And it's sometimes quite difficult to find a book that's an easy read but a really enjoyable. I mean, I wanted to keep reading. It was a bit of a page turner in terms of, not page turner in terms of action happening all the time, but a page turner in terms of, oh my gosh, did he do it? Will he get off? What's going on? You know, I wanted to get to the end to find out what happened. So for me, was the total winner. And as I said, like, don't know anything about this guy, didn't really know anything about his writing, but yeah, I'm kind of wondering whether or not to look up the Clifford Maxwell, whether or not to see whether or not what his writing is like under the other pseudonym. But I would definitely, if I come across any more of his books in a secondhand shop, I would definitely pick them up and buy them, or if at the library, I would definitely go and get them. As I said, I'm not trying to add very many books to my actual bookshelf, virtual bookshelf in my house. But yes, no, I would read more of these. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. If anyone else has read any of his, I would love to hear what you think, or if you've read similar sort of books, I'd love to hear your recommendations as well. So please let me know if you have either read this one or read any of his others. And yeah, it was quite good. So this is a Pan book, so this was put out by Pan. So, and plus, you know, I mean, who isn't a sucker for a good cover? I think this is great. So yes, this is going to go on my pile over here as well. The other book that I am reading at the moment kind of sits within that same sort of genre in the Golden Age crime. So this is by Christiana Brand. Now, I have heard a lot about her as one of the really good Golden Age crime writers. This is a book I have also borrowed, so we'll be going back very soon to the person who lent it to me. This is Heads You Lose, and oh my gosh, if a title is ever apt, this is it. Now, this is number, I'm going to take my glasses off again, 779 in the Green Penguin selection. And I must admit, I am starting to love this kind of whole kind of cover vibe of the Green Penguins. I mean, in the past, I have not really liked this kind of look of the book. I know we shouldn't get caught up in the aesthetics of a book, but when you have books that have been reprinted and reprinted in lots of different formats, sometimes the cover actually does make a difference. But I am kind of starting to feel a bit more drawn to these. Usually I like a nice bit of kind of vintage artwork on the front of a book, but anyway, enough said about this book, but the front cover of the book. So Christiana Brandt. So she, I've got to take my glasses off to read you this. So it says here, she was born in the Far East and brought up there until she came home and went to a convent school. She worked in London in a variety of jobs: nursery governess, professional ballroom dancer. Sounds interesting. Secretary mannequin. I guess that's like a model, just standing around wearing clothes, showing ladies what a dress looks like on, maybe. Market gardener, house decorator, sales girl. And in the intervals, she was always broke and often hungry. Sounds like a struggling artist these days as well. She's now married to a surgeon, and they live in a Regency house in London with their adopted daughter and a poodle and a Siamese cat. Now, Green for Danger, which is one of her books, I have heard a lot about as well. I mean, I have heard of quite a few reviews about different ones of her books, but I just never got around to reading hers. I guess because I've got so many other books on my list of things to read, and I haven't come across any of hers in a secondhand bookshop yet. I have been looking, but as you can see, the person who lent this to me only paid $1 for this. I think that $1 might have been quite a while ago, though I think they might have picked this up quite a while ago. But I am, well, first of all, we have, how many pages? We've got 222 pages in this book. I am 132 pages in. So you can see there, I'm more than halfway through. The reason that I'm doing the review for this at the moment is because I want to try and finish this really soon to get this back to the person who lent it to me, along with this book. So far, I'm loving this. Back to the title. If there is a title that unbeknownst becomes, it's not really an in-joke really, but I'm in. Heads you lose. What is this book about? It's about, I guess, 3 people who get murdered having their heads chopped off. Head you lose. Fantastic title. Okay, apart from that, I love it. I really enjoy this. I mean, I'm a huge Agatha Christie fan. I just cannot get away from it. I mean, I am Agatha Christie fan through and through. What would I say in compare? I mean, it's got the very same vibe. It's set in a small village. You've got a closed circle of people who are in a house. The only number of people who the detective is saying you are the only people who knew about certain things to do with the murders. There's always a little bit of a love interest in there and a little bit of an intrigue. As I said, I've still got this much to go, so I have a bit of an inkling who I think it might be. I haven't got a really, really strong belief in who I think it is, but I must say I am a person who is quite happy to read a book and not have to work it out. Quite often I do kind of get a bit of an inkling and I kind of have theories, but that is not the way. I don't read the book to solve it before the end. I like to read the book to enjoy it. If I think I formulate something along the way, that's fine. If I don't, I don't. That's not the be all and end all for me for a book. So I am just really, really enjoying this, and I really want to just sit down and finish this last little bit of the book. I have been away. For a few days in my van, so went to a secondhand bookshop and have bought a few books, which I'm going to make a video of soon, of the books that I bought from that bookshop. There were so many more books I could have bought, but I didn't. But so I thought I would have more time to sit down and read this while I was away, but I didn't. So yes, this will be getting finished soon. without knowing the ending, without having finished the very ending of this, I still love this book. I think I'm going to, highly recommend it. So much so that I really want to get more of her other books and read them. Just, if nothing else, to add to my knowledge of, I guess, to say that I love the golden age of crime, the important thing is I should probably be reading quite a lot of that genre as well. I don't have to. I mean, I read for fun. I don't read for academic reasons. But yeah, if the rest of her books are to go on, this book is to go on, I will be out there reading her other books. So yeah, having great fun reading this. I would sit alongside. I mean, I love the whole set in a village, closed circle of people, upper class people, family relationships, romance. Well, not necessarily romance, but there's always some sort of a emotional kind of interest in some of these books because it makes for a really good murder kind of reason to commit murder, isn't it? Marriage and secret marriages and all that kind of stuff. Really love it. Yes. This is another one. I'm sure lots and lots of people have read Christiana Brandt. And I'm sure a lot of people would have comments on her and her books. So, one I've read, one I'm reading, and here is a couple of books that I have picked up recently. These are not the ones that I am going to make a separate video on, but I went to I'm just trying to think where I picked these up from. I picked this, I know I definitely picked this first one up from an op shop, just local op shop. And look, it's only $2 for this book. Now, this is by Kel Richards, and it's, of course, called The Case of the Vanishing Corpse. I mean, the cover and the title just screams murder and murder up my alley kind of thing. So, so it does say here, I'll take my glasses off again. Kel Richards is one of Australia's best-known journalists and radio personalities. After 5 years hosting his own talk show radio, Kel now runs an ABC National's Offspring program. So that's where he comes from. But so The Case of the Vanishing Corpse is the ultimate locked room mystery. Well, that one line got me in, so I thought $2. Let's have a look and see what it's like. Locked room mystery. Okay, let's hope it lives up to all its hype, because that is pretty big praise. But yes, I don't know this author either. I don't know anything about them. Actually, I haven't even heard them on radio. So as far as I know, I can't tell you anything about this book. But it was just the title that grabbed me. So there it is. What else did I pick up? Oh, yes, I have got this book, Agatha Christie's Destination Unknown. I don't know why, but I saw this and I thought, it doesn't ring a bell to me at all. But then again, I don't know. It might be. I mean, like, I have read so many Agatha Christie's, and I have my favourites that I revisit. And this one, I feel like I probably do know the story, but the title doesn't. The title doesn't sound familiar to me. Mind you, I know that there were different titles for releases in different countries of some of her books and that. But anyway, I got this. So really happy with that. That is just going to go on my bookshelf as a to read sometime later, because I have an Agatha Christie bookshelf, as you do, and a Golden Age crime bookshelf, so they all kind of go in together. Yep. So that will be going on my bookshelf. And the other book that I have at the moment to read on my list is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. There we go. Don't really know anything about this. This will be a bit of a mystery. I will read it and I will let you know. It's not going to be on my pile of, well, but, it might be late February or March maybe when I read this, but I still have these ones here to get through, so I can hand them back. So but this one here is probably the next one after that to read. So yes, that is it. That's my little roundup for the moment. As I said, I will make a video soon about my little trip away and what I found at this lovely bookshop. Yes, if you have read either of these two or anything similar or by the same author, please let me know, leave some comments. I really want to hear other people's ideas about these authors. I will catch up with you all later. Bye.